Do you like really big rockets? I sure do. And I like spaceships and moon missions, and one day, I'm sure that I'll like Mars landings as well. Welcome to Next Stop Mars. My name's Tony, and this is a show about those big rockets and spaceships, and hopefully one day, Mars landings. But it's also a show about humans, and why we explore, why we wander the Earth, and why we now wander the solar system. We'll have updates on current events in the aerospace world, news about launches and new rockets, new programs. There's so much going on at NASA and SpaceX and Blue Origin, and so many other great companies that are pushing the limits in space. But we'll also have a regular series that dives into the truly epic stories of human exploration. Stories of our most primitive travels as we spread across the globe through migration, all the way up to the current age of space travel. I've always been fascinated by exploration, whether it was learning about people like Alexander the Great, Marco Polo, Columbus, Magellan, or any of the other names we learned about in school. Growing up in the 80s, I couldn't get enough of the Space Shuttle program, then the Hubble Space Telescope, the International Space Station. The people who dreamed up and then executed the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo programs, well, they seemed like true superheroes to me. A very specific event recently inspired me to start following this next phase of space exploration with great interest, and ultimately to start producing content about it. I had a conversation during the recent SpaceX test of Starhopper, as I was still trying to pick my jaw up off the ground after watching that flying water tower hover over the Texas coast. Someone said to me, "What a waste of money. What's the point of going to Mars?" My mind almost couldn't comprehend how short-sighted that comment was. To me, it was almost instinctual that human beings will be on the move. To me, the answer is almost as easy as, because that's what we do. But that conversation got me thinking, and I started reading more about exploration and what drives us to be on the move. It turns out a lot of people agree with my oversimplified answer of, because that's what we do. Of course, there are many possible reasons for any one specific expedition: instinct, cultural, scientific, economic, military, or sometimes simply for the sake of survival. And one of the things I hope to do on this channel is to discuss some of those expeditions and the reasons they're made. But in my reading, I came across one quote that stuck out. Buzz Aldrin said, "Exploration is wired into our brains. If we can see the horizon, we want to know what's beyond it." To me, that perfectly sums up humans as a species. How else did we spread to every corner of the globe in such a short amount of time? Some early human wanted to know what was over that hill, and then he wanted to know what was over the next hill, and then across that river, and then the desert, and before you knew it, we had wandered all the way from Africa to the tip of South America. I also think it describes so many of us as individuals. It explains our ambition and our drive to succeed. At the individual level, Aldrin's horizon doesn't have to be the actual horizon. Rather, it's that next job promotion. It's breaking the career home run record. It's starting a family and striving to make sure you give your kids a better life than your own. Whatever our personal horizons, we want to push beyond them. That drive to go beyond has built careers, legacies, even empires. Oftentimes, we are driven to do great things, but sometimes that horizon does lead us astray, and we do things we should not. It's important we discuss those journeys as well. Now, there are certainly much more scientific reasons for our need to explore than simply because that's what we do. In fact, some scientists link our urge to explore to a variant of the DRD4 gene. This variant is found more frequently in populations who have migrated great distances throughout their history. National Geographic has even called it the restless gene. But there is no denying that we as a species and we as individuals will continue to explore our world, and soon we'll be exploring worlds that are not even ours. I hope to be producing shows on a regular basis that discuss current space happenings. There's a lot to follow right now. But we'll also start to produce episodes that focus on some of the great expeditions of the past. The first will probably focus on Pythias the Greek. Who is Pythias the Greek, you say? Well, tune back in to find out. We'll try and engage in all the common social media platforms, so follow us if you'd like. Our handle is @NextStopMars, without the E. For those of you watching on YouTube, but you'd rather listen on the go, there's a podcast version up on all the major podcast servers. And for those of you listening on the podcast, there's a video version of this show on the YouTube channel. Check it out. Until next time, take care.